You are now listening to The Funniest Show with your host Donovan Strong O'Donnell. On the episode today we have special guest Gregory Howell.
Yeah, you're talking about we might have talked about it. I've been learning I got to introduce the people. I'm here with Coon Dog.
Hey.
Gregory Howell.
Living the dreams, man.
Yeah, man. One of Chicago's fresh young faces out on the scene doing stand-up comedy. From the South, a very southern boy up north.
Just holding on to my roots. Not forgetting where they came from. That's what my grandmother always told me. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't know you have the Denver area code. You holding on to that Denver area code?
Yeah, I am. I like it. It's kind of like a novelty to me because of the fucking the 303. Because I used to listen to that little band, but whenever I was in middle school.
Okay, hell yeah.
I thought it was a little edgy. They had some cool songs.
Damn, yeah. It's always fun to learn, like, when three numbers end up being an area code. And you're like, that's why, you know.
It's really close to my hometown area code, too. It's like 803.
Oh, yeah.
I like how a lot of people, like, from a city or any particular city, they use their area code to represent.
Yeah. Well, then the area codes get split. So we were 312. And before I was even born, it was just 312. Then at some point it was 312-773, like when I was 2, like or mid 90s.
Yeah, you get too many. Once you get a bunch of people and you give out all the numbers, you got to kind of change an area code.
And now there's like 6, and I don't
in the
know,
whole Chicago area.
There's a ton.
That's a lot.
And there's like 4 suburban ones, but there's like new, like because like not even for phones, just for like made up people robocalling your grandma and trying to hack. Has anyone ever been hacked in your family successfully by
not that I know of
a scammer? It's always, you hear like stories of people where they're like, hey, they call up and they'll be like, it'll be someone our age and they'll call someone's grandma and they'll be like, this is your this happened to my cousin, they called his grandma, and this is like second cousins, so different grandmas. My grandma never fallen for
those
this.
Poor old ladies, man.
I know, right?
Taking advantage of the fucking demented.
I know, and they're like, don't hang up the phone, take out $10,000 in fucking money orders. That's the only way your grandson's getting out of jail. Is $10,000 in money orders right now.
That's pretty. It's a pretty good scheme, though. You think about it, you can actually get the money. They actually give you the money. It's like, you just got away with it. You technically didn't rob them, but you're just confusing them. But yeah, that wouldn't happen to like one of my grandmothers. I don't know. They're pretty sharp.
Isn't it cool? It's good to have a sharp grandma. Your grandma text?
No, she doesn't text. She doesn't even like her phone. She does the Facebook, man. She's heavy on Facebook. Plays all those silly games.
Yeah, Facebook has been just dominated by old people.
Yeah, man.
It's gentrified. It's like Florida. It's like, hey, we're all coming down
retirement.
here.
That's why. They don't even. My grandmother wouldn't get an Instagram. The oldest person in my family to actually have an Instagram account is probably like my aunt.
Yeah. A lot of my family's on it, but they don't use it ever. Like they logged in, they joined, they followed all of us, and then they never logged in again.
Never posted.
Yeah.
Just to get your name in there.
Well, they're like, I want to. They know that our generation is posting, like their grandkids are posting. So like, I want to see what they're posting, and then they're like,
yeah, it's just a way to stalk them.
I partied way harder than my grandkids. These kids are lame.
Dude, yeah, it's these fucking iPads, man. These iPad babies.
Do you think you partied harder than everyone before you in your entire lineage, going back to the dawn of
Probably.
Man?
I don't know. I've partied.
Or do you think any of your parents or grandparents beat you? And just life lived through now.
In like life, well, I'm like the only person in my family who's not like married and have kids.
Yeah, right.
I definitely think I'm definitely like believe that I'm like more happier than a lot of my cousins. And like I believe I'm probably like one of the happiest people in my family.
No, it always. I mean, it's like, dude, it's so silly sometimes when I'm like, because it is like comparing myself to people with families.
Yeah,
where I strive at comedy, but I'm like having to have a family and that responsibility is just so much more serious. And it's like I'm like, bro, I'm taking this comedy seriously. And there's like guys I grew up with who are like, I gotta father my son, and it's just like,
yeah,
bro,
dude,
I'm hanging up a bed sheet in my 4-bedroom with my 3 Craigslist roommates.
I don't envy that at all, dude. Every now and again, dude, like if it's been a while, if it's been a while, if I'm feeling lonely, man, I'll like think about it. I was like, man, it'd be cool to have like, a girlfriend or some shit, but I'm like, nah.
It'd be cool to have a girlfriend who was exactly down for this, which was like, like, all right, we're gonna be broke and like try really silly. We're gonna hang bed sheets and follow our dreams.
It builds character,
No children.
Yeah, none of that shit, man.
Yeah. Would you ever date a woman who wanted to go to Disney World without we don't have children, but this is our big year trip?
I'd go to Disney World. That actually sounds pretty cool.
Okay, there you go.
Like, I've never been to Disney World, but yeah.
Damn, we'll save it till you can save it till you have kids.
Yeah,
keep it as a chip on your shoulder.
I don't think I'm ever gonna have kids. Just like have more fun than them at the fucking
Your
Disney
dad
World.
never got to experience this. You're not getting a fast pass. I'm getting the fast pass.
Oh yeah, you gotta wait in line. Fuck you.
Did they have any like amusement park-esque things?
There was Carowinds. When I was growing up, there was Carowinds, man, and that was a cool little spot. They had a few water parks, but it used to be owned by Paramount, so the rides were like movie related. But like, I guess like Paramount like sold it, and they had to change the names of all the rides.
What was that movie that you remember them using?
They had the one like the Star Trek one called the Borg.
Oh, that's kind of tight.
Yeah,
do you remember what it became?
No, I don't.
Just a cyborg.
Yeah, some shit.
just add it. Yeah, make
just
that
made
pretty
like
easy.
some other fictional cyborg character, or whatever. But nah, like. I did get whenever I moved to Pennsylvania, dude, I got a season pass to like Dorney Park.
Okay.
It was like it was sicker than the amusement park that was in my state. Like, it was way better. So like, we would go to that shit, and I got a season pass, and I went like man, at least once or twice a week, man. They had a sick little water park, and they had like all these like dope rides. Like, I was like all about it. There was this one ride we were all obsessed with. It was called like Steel Force. It was like a 200-foot drop.
Oh hell yeah!
And it's like, it didn't like go upside down, but it went really fucking fast, and it dropped you really fucking far.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I was just the steez, man.
No, I love like amusement parks. I love Six Flags, but some of the other, it's always like the worst types of people there, and I'm one of them.
Yeah,
but it's
I'm a fucking.
But it's always like, and I mean, I was those kids too, but like the families there, they're like walking 10 wide, like just fucking just.
Oh, that's when you ride a skateboard between them. You can break them up.
Break them up, man. But no, I love, Six Flags growing up. I was scared as a kid. I was terrified of roller coasters up through like half my childhood, and then I was like, all right, we're doing this a few times.
Yeah, I was the same way. Like, I was like, but I knew I wanted to do it. I had the fear of the upside down roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
That was the shit that really fucked with me.
There's always weird things that would just throw me off. It would be like, this one just looks like it's going fast. It was the one. There's one that like it would twist and go up and then go down like backwards, and then go up. So it just wasn't.
It was just like a U.
Down. It was a U.
It was like, yeah, I know that. I know that thing.
And it was. I was always afraid. This one was like an intense roller coaster-esque one, and I was just always afraid of it. Yeah, man, those were the days, bro. Did you ever play dodgeball growing up?
Dodgeball? Yeah, it was
I feel like you could have been good at dodgeball.
Dodgeball was fun.
I always felt like whenever they let us play dodgeball, it was just such a gift to just childhood.
It was just so free. It was just such a free thing to do. You just like... You can just like aim for the heads. You just like nail all the girls you have a crush on. Just bam, bam.
All of it, and it was just free.
Nail them.
Dude, there's this one time where like this one of the kids who would like hang out on the wall, but he was definitely like a kid who'd always hang out the wall, hope every ball missed him. So he like literally just did that and missed. He was at the end, last guy alive.
That was his like he was playing the long game, defense.
And this guy, and I love this guy, but just. The guy who's gonna never fucking what ended up happening was like every 8th grade bro on the other side like was in and just like all threw it at once, and he caught one and like knocked another down, and like it was so epic. And then when you catch it, you get another guy back in. That's what it was too.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. So if you catch it, that guy gets out, and then you get someone back in. Is how we always played in our gym class. And what did you call that class? Did you call it gym?
PE.
Did you ever call it gym?
No, it was always PE.
I think that's just the Chicago word, and it's
gym?
Yeah, and we just always say that.
There was like gym class, and then there was like a weightlifting class for.
So gym class was specifically like where you did.
It was like a high school thing. Like it went from like elementary, middle school, high school. It was like PE up until high school, and then they said it was just gym.
Okay.
And then like then there was a weightlifting class, or it was like
That's
I
cool.
think it was always just phys ed. I just called it gym.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy
PE.
like that. I was doing like free weights in high school. Like they're just like 14, you turn 14 and
Well, I mean
They'll
that's
be
not
there.
you're just if they're like supervising you, but
yeah, public schools they don't always but it was also good. I mean, other kids were supervising me. I'll say that. Students who already
it's just
knew
like already
14-year-olds who were actually already 19 for sure knew.
and they're already and they're like
They
kids
knew what they're
kids who are working out. They're already athletes anyway.
doing.
So like
they know their shit.
and
So,
they're
other
fucking
kids
young,
are-
so they're like less prone to injury.
oh, that 100%.
So like it's
I
like
mean,
less of a liability.
It blows my mind what I could have done at 18 that I can't do now. Like we would have. I mean, granted, I'm now look back and my high school coach was like, yeah, those were all girl.
You played
push-ups.
sport? You played sports in high school?
I was all city lacrosse.
Oh, okay.
Chicago.
He was a lax bro.
Yeah, and now I'm just chilling with my bed sheet on my wall.
Oh, that rules.
Yeah, I haven't played lax once since I finished high school.
Do you miss it?
I miss being in high school. I miss being a lax bro in high
miss the
school.
hair?
I miss the hair. Yeah. Even then, what's sad is that at all points I've had the softest hair though. I should have always embraced that more, but I was always insecure about how thin my hair was, even though I had like 7 more years with it.
Dude, I hated
Like
I
18,
hated my
I
hair
would have
for a
been
long
fine.
time.
I would have been. I was fine up until like 23,
Yeah.
and it's
It
like
always happens early.
I mean, I knew it was gonna happen because my whole entire family is like everyone on my mom's side is bald, and there's like 40 Irish cousins, and there's like 38 of them are bald. And
Yeah, so like that's you kind of already know people who dudes who go bald already know they're like gonna go bald.
Yeah, and I mean this is a bad, and I am very much at my end, and this is a bad day, but this is still this at 30.
At least it's like
This at 30 is still like better than 3/4 of what my family got to.
Yeah, then you got something to fucking
Yeah, it's not
hold on to.
if you do like the magic,
It's a lot
and you stand tall.
Maintaining a bald head is.
I tell you, the days I go out without a hat, standing a lot. Standing tall a lot of the night.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to outstand all the women. And it's working. It's working.
Hey man,
not much.
here's some
Not
women
well.
love the bald look.
I think if you own it,
Yeah.
women don't care as much.
It's a cute dude, like really, it's all about a dude's personality.
It's
It's
about
not
owning
really
it,
that.
yeah.
It's not all about the vanity.
I tell you, I have a lot higher insecurities. People bring up bald to me first because they don't, but I'm like, no, don't. You mention bald all you want. It's the bed sheets.
It's the bed sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Bro, I love hearing your Southern stories though.
Yeah, man, I gotta.
You gotta like lean in. You gotta do like Songs of the South Part 2.
Songs of the South,
The
man.
Gregory Howell version.
Man, I think like the coolest thing about like growing up in the South is just like the people you were around.
Yeah,
And like all the goofy shit you did. Like I had a crazy childhood, man, because like I grew up without a mom, so like I can pretty much do whatever I want. Like I had nobody to disappoint, which is why I'm doing like stand up comedy. There's no one to like disappoint in my family. It's just me. My sister's very accomplished.
Thank God I pressed record.
Oh,
but that's fucking heavy. No, that's for real though. Yeah, man. I feel like a terrible friend, but how'd you lose your mom?
Oh, dude, like no, I have no problems talking about this.
Yeah,
like it's my mom. She died when I was 6. So like, and she was she was in a drunk driving accident. She was drinking and shit.
Oh wow.
And she had a head-on collision with another car. It was like a family in a van. But yeah, this was like right before Christmas. But here's some like messed up shit about that. Is like when I was a kid, I remember my mom always going to jail. My dad was always sitting me down, like, and I'm playing Super Nintendo. I'm playing like Donkey Kong Country 2, the Diddy's Conquest, And like my dad just sit down. He's just like he doesn't know how to say it. He's just like, your mother's in jail again, and I'm just like, oh fuck, cool. Like she's always in jail. Like what the hell? And like all my teachers would be asking me. Like, where's your mom? Because she would always, like, come pick me up from school, walking.
Yeah.
And, like, whenever she wasn't picking me up from school, my teachers were like, Greg, where's your mom at? I remember I actually told my teacher my mom was dead.
How big was the town you were living in?
It was probably, like, right now, it's probably, like, 40,000.
Oh, that's big enough. Yeah.
It's 40,000
You could kind of hide
right
in a
now.
town of 40,000. You
Yeah.
can kind of get, like a town of 1,000, everyone knows everyone's
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
But
There's
40,000, you could kind of hide and be like, yeah. beyond the beyond.
But
the,
everybody still kind of knew everybody. Like,
yeah,
you knew
especially
everybody.
in your like school area.
Because there was only 2 districts.
Okay,
we had 2 districts in the city. There was there was
What's the town
17 and
called?
2. It's called Sumter, South Carolina. Not like the fort in Charleston.
Go.
Yeah,
But no, that's literally on the questions list. Is that I mean I'm from the land of Lincoln, bro. You don't all of my state stuff. So I lived in the country for 4 years growing up, and it was like the country.
Okay.
My mom went back to school in Eastern, which is like downstate, and we lived in a town of 20,000 for 2 years, and then the middle of the country, like 20 miles from town.
Midwest is very flat and a lot of corn. There's a lot of nothing. There's outside of Chicago. There's a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, so there would be like weird little. There's like little spurts of memories I have, like like frog hunt. Did you ever go frog? Do you go frog hunting down there? Or is that a Midwest thing? I always wonder like what it translates across the country.
We would run around, fucking go in the swamps, and we would like rip crawfish out, like.
Yeah, that's
we
awesome.
would catch
Because we don't have swamps or crawfish. That's what it's like that's cool.
Yeah, in the summertime, it's like a bunch of like.
There's actually a place in Chicago where you can find crawfish.
Okay, people like want to get. People always think like there is a difference between crawfish
and a crayfish.
Yeah, like crayfish are in like they're in the salt water. So like a
the
bayou.
crayfish are better.
A bayou is like a saltwater swamp.
Yeah,
like,
this is actually what they taught us when we went and picked up the crawfish in science class.
And then a crawfish is like a freshwater. Their crawfish are bigger, but they're freshwater.
Okay.
And they're like they look like small little lobsters.
Hell yeah! No, this is cool. These aren't. I don't know how these compare to yours. And I also wonder what a swamp is, like what a true swamp is.
A swamp is just cypress trees that are growing up out of the water.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just if you see, it's just like stagnant, murky water, and then there's like trees in it. It's a wetland.
Did you see the Netflix movie like Where the Crawdads Are? Where the Crawdads?
No, I think I fucking scrolled by it. I can never decide on a fucking Netflix movie. There's too many options for me.
That's a good one with the ladies. For instance, for me, my grandma, watch it with my grandma. It was like every sad thing that can happen happens.
Where the crawdads what? Or the crawfish?
Yeah, I think it was like Yeah, you're right. It wasn't crawfish. It was where the crawdads lay or something.
Where the crawdads lay. Yeah, that's like.
It was like really leaning in, but it was all the people are British.
The Gulf. That's the Gulf Coast right there.
No, but they did North Carolina side.
Yeah, North Carolina too. Like you got some. We do got it. There's a lot of marshes in the Carolinas. It's mostly marshes.
Yeah,
and you get a lot of little sand crabs. Yeah, like marshes, like there's like marshes, swamps, and there's like another wetland.
Would you ever be like a boating guy, like one of them boating guys? Could you ever?
Yeah, actually, like I want to. Whenever I'm like done with life, whenever like I want to like buy a boat, like a houseboat, dock it, just pay my docking fees. Hopefully, I have some like enough passive income that I can just chill.
Where do you want to dock it?
Probably like anywhere, like probably around like Southern California, man. Oh, yeah. I do want to like head west to LA. If this comedy thing goes further.
Hell yeah, bro. Bro, it would be, what if it was financially feasible to like have a houseboat, dock it, and a car like 20 miles outside of LA? Wouldn't that be the?
That would be the life. Actually, that would be like ideal as fuck.
My uncle, he had a houseboat in Chicago for several years. He was a wild guy.
Yeah.
He and the thing about houseboats in Chicago, the waters get so cold in the winter that the metal contrasts and expands so much that it just rips up like every single year.
Damn, you have to, like, I didn't think about that.
You have to like completely take it out the water, and even then you like usually take it out too late, And it would just be like insane, like every year, like 20 grand, 10 grand of damage, 20 grand of damage.
That fucking blows,
and
dude.
It's just such a money, but it's also just like, it's such a cool life. So that's the only, like, what's crazy to me is I've been on like small boats a lot, and I've been on big boats.
Like cruise ships and shit?
No, I've never been on a cruise, but I've been on.
That's a big fucking boat.
That's the biggest.
Yeah.
But I've been on like big ferries.
Okay.
That's what they called me back what they called me in grade school. But no, like the Chicago, the penthouse, the playhouse.
Yeah. The Chicago Playhouse.
That's what the playpen. Dude, I've never been out there, but I would love to go to the play.
I think I'd try to be
them boat people.
I think my Uncle Lenny's got a 3-story yacht.
Damn, bro.
But it's like he does charter fishing on it. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I've never seen it, but it's a 3-story yacht. And he's like, and whenever I went to go visit him, my Uncle Lenny was living with my grandmother was staying with his grandmother, my grandmother, his sister, because like I don't know, he got like in a fight with his girl and they like broke up or something. They never were married, but my Uncle Lenny, who's such a bitch about it, like he wouldn't stand up and like get all his shit, like go into her house and just, this is all my stuff. Like he was so scared. My grandmother was like, what the, like, Lenny, come the hell on, like, you know, stop being a bitch and go get your shit. That's your shit. And then you're letting this woman like bully you and shit. My grandma was talking mad shit to him, and then like to the point where my grandma was like, "All right, I think I pissed Lenny off enough. He might hit me. So Greg, stay like." But yeah, and his yacht was fucking sunk. So and then he was like working on getting a pump, like to pump all the water out.
Damn, it's crazy. Like people dealing with floods, the certain like bro, like.
I think his ex-girlfriend like probably like maybe sunk the boat or something, man. Sprung a leak in that motherfucker.
People do vengeful shit.
I know, right? I don't know the whole story, but
yeah,
my grandma was talking mad shit to my Uncle Lenny.
I once left a party in high school. I was a junior, and the senior class president was there, and he was like a really cool. You know, senior class president's always like the cool, likable. Yeah, say hi to every guy. You know,
they won the popularity contest.
Yeah, and
all the kids voted for him.
Yeah. He won the lip sync battle. There was a lip sync battle. He won it. He fucking crushed Poison.
Voted most likely to succeed.
And he's just outside.
Die of an overdose.
Oh, just outside ripping off fucking side view mirrors, just one after another at a party in high school, knocking them down, knock like a dozen guys' side view mirrors off, just rip them off.
Dude, me and my friends used to always get arrested all the time.
What was the?
I remember one time we were pool hopping. We didn't get we didn't get arrested, but the cops just like put us in cuffs and take us home. It's not a big technically.
Were you ever booked? I'm gonna take this away from you.
Yeah.
The one thing I do realize is by not holding the mics, it gives something us to play with.
Yeah, right.
I guess you can't hear it. It's mics. That's the whole point of mics. Here, you can have it back.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll leave it alone. But, no, I got booked. I've been getting booked like whenever I was like first time I ever got arrested and booked, I was fucking 16. But they didn't like catch me in the act. It was like something later. Like one of my friends got caught, and then he wrote a statement on me, and
that stinks.
Yeah, you know, and like, well, like a lot of kids can't fold under. They fold under the pressure, you know.
Was it your fault or was the fault?
Oh, I broke in. Yeah, I did.
But what did they do?
They just kept getting he just kept getting in trouble.
So
like
he got caught.
Yeah, it's just yeah. You kind of keep doing fucked up shit, messed up shit. You keep getting in trouble.
Guy now?
No, he's. I don't know. He's been in and out of prison.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, I moved away from home when I was like 19, when I was like kind of like done with my probation. I knew I needed to get the hell out of my hometown because all I was doing was just like working dead-end jobs, getting in trouble. Like I couldn't, and like the only other option was like, well, like I had it in my head like, all right, since like you got your shit together for the most part, like you can go to school, but like I don't know what I'm gonna do with an education, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't, right?
No, I didn't.
You don't have the debt, and
no, I don't. Yeah, exactly. I went and got a welding certificate when I was 18. Well, when I was 17, I got my welding certificate, and like I couldn't find a job because like no real company wanted to hire some like 17, 18-year-old kid.
Welder,
yeah, as a welder, like, yeah. I was like, dude, like, what? You didn't even go to high school. Like, what the fuck? You're just gonna
that would also have been like 2010, right? Like
yeah, that was like recession. 2010.
That's the thing. When we were 17, 18, that was the worst time to find a job. That was like the worst of the economy.
Yeah, and that shit discouraged the fuck out of me, and I didn't know what to do. So I was just couch surfing. Like I didn't live with my dad.
Okay. Do you ever go back and see your family?
I see my grandmother and I see my sister. I see my cousins in Pennsylvania, my aunt and uncle.
Is any of them in Sumter?
Well, no, my grandmother lives in Sumter.
Okay.
So like whenever I go visit my grandmother, like I'll go see like a couple old friends that like live like 3 doors down.
Okay, hell yeah.
From my grandmother. So then if I get bored hanging out at my grandma's house, I'm just like, all right, man, I'm going to Lisa's house and we're just gonna get fucked up.
Is there any like bar you'll get fucked up, or you just?
There's this one bar. It's like called Savannah Break. And then like it's just like up the street from where I live, and then
there's so when I went back to the small town.
Small town bars are cool.
Yeah, it was a town of 800. They had 2 small towns. I've now like these towns that are like super, super small that have like 2 bars because like 5 other towns. This is what this town is. This town, Ashmore, Illinois, so where I lived. it was we ended up moving there. We lived down there 4 years. The first 2 in Charleston, which is a bigger town, 20-some thousand. And
Charleston,
Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Charlestons.
Yeah, and this one, it's because this one is just stupid.
They got to rename. They got to.
This one is
the
like
same
these
name.
two.
There's
They already exist. The ones you know already existed. The one in South Carolina already existed. The one in West Virginia already existed. And this guy was like, the mailman's named Charles, and he gets to pick the mailman would get to pick the town. It was always the post office guy. So they'd just be like, my wife's name is Deborah, so this is the town of Deborah. And then like you go out west,
Clever.
the town names are just like fucking Rifle, and it's like the guy who just liked rifles, or he's like the town name is Bison. They saw a bison out there.
Pennsylvania has the weirdest names for cities.
Yeah, theirs
and
are
towns and roads.
Any of those, where they have like some other country before the British owned it, where it's like, so it's German or Dutch or that shit. Yeah,
yeah, that's
like
it.
when you go to Massachusetts and have to be like Worcester or whatever.
Worcester.
Yeah, and then
Worcestershire.
Well, like Phoenix is like they just saw a bird, and they're like, oh, there's a
Phoenix
bird.
is cool though, because
Phoenix
it's like
is a cool ass name for a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like but like in Pennsylvania, like I was told, like they have these weird names for their streets, cities, just because like during like the Civil War, like whenever if there was like some spies who would come around, and they would mispronounce the fucking town or street, whatever, and they would just immediately be killed because like fucking spy.
Damn, say this, damn, that's fucking awesome. What?
Yeah. So that was like a good advantage, like in Gettysburg.
Yeah, so growing up in where I grew up in Illinois, where we lived when it was the middle of the country, it was right off this river, and I didn't know this until Google Maps came around, and I could just fuck around on Google Maps and like look up old places I lived. But there was also nearby, and this we would go to on field trips, where Abraham Lincoln's parents lived, and it was like a field trip you took.
What is that
year.
little town?
It wasn't a town. It was like a reenactment village. Of
like
farm. They just had a
like
farm.
a preservation.
Yeah, they had like a farm 9 miles outside of this town where we were all, and you'd take about 40
shoot some
minutes to
guns
drive
out there, man.
Well, they were always super like woke, and like we were on the right
anti-gun, huh?
We were on the right side of this history.
Oh, so
they're not. I mean, they'll shoot like they'll like load the fucking musket.
The muskets and shit.
The Civil War is crazy because they just fucking open, like they just like, all right, we're gonna walk at each other, pow, 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 musket load.
Yeah, that's how you did war.
Yeah,
that's how you fought in the wars,
and then
man.
it just switched over to fucking. Now we got machine guns.
We're just gonna bomb your city. Like we're just gonna kill your civilians. That shit, and until you give up.
Those moments where like certain people jump technology by like generations, while others still
World War II was a big technological
imagine being the guy with the machine gun hitting some small island, and like they just don't even have fucking like muskets yet. They're just still doing like the old
technology, or they got bow and arrow and shit.
I mean, there's a
just
ton of
dominates them.
Yeah.
Like ballistics, like it's getting like ballistics, and then it's like nukes, like nuclear weapons now. Like that's what makes you a superpower in the world, is if you have nukes. That's all it does. It's not about your wealth or anything. It's about, do you have nukes? And it's not it's like, do you have them?
We got to talk to you different if you have nukes.
Yeah.
Definitely got to talk to you a little different.
So like,
you got nukes.
You have like, I think United States, obviously they have the most, and then it's China, then Russia, and then like.
Well, it's just crazy that someone somewhere is gonna fuck it up again. You know, it's just like
that's like the only. Yeah, you're just like,
people fuck up a lot of things. They'll probably almost certainly fuck this up too.
Yeah, it's a very the human element, man. It's very
exactly
full of flaws.
Bro, I mean, even just this winter feels like the human elephant. No, the human element is in full effect. I mean, it's just such a mild winter up here. I mean,
dude. It's like, dude, Chicago winters ain't shit, man. I was like, that was one thing about Chicago that like I was expecting it to be like, there's like being like the single digits negatives for like a month, 2 months.
Knock on wood, bro. But honestly, this stuff is like, oh my.
This is nothing, dude.
And then if you look at the forecast, like no days of freezing. This is like Europe weather. It's like pretty soon we'll be living in fucking Tennessee. It'll be sweet, man.
No more fucking cold ass winters, dude.
Yeah. Are you thinking of? So you're thinking of going out to LA?
Yeah, I mean, not for. I want to do 2 more summers in Chicago.
Okay.
This is gonna be some hot summers, man. I can feel it.
Oh, bro, Chicago. Nothing beats a Chicago summer.
No,
summertime
for real.
Shy.
For real.
What's your
dude.
favorite summertime shy activity / location? Or location.
I mean, I would say probably like Millennium Park.
Yeah, just go in there.
Yeah,
chilling,
just
taking
go in
it all
there,
in.
catch a free show,
Yeah, hell yeah.
bring some beers.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the Street Fest, I don't know. I'm not really, the Street Fest, they're really cool. I
They're
don't
pretty
go to them. I just like selfishly know when they're there. Like,
What's
I don't need to
interesting to me
participate.
is that the Street Fests are newish. Like, they didn't exist when I was a kid. And they're actually, I would say, one of my favorite. Like, if you're visiting from out of town, the summer months, I'm probably, and there's a decent one, which there are, I think, 3 out of 4 weekends in the summer. There's one that's like tolerable enough to go.
Yeah, they're really cool.
There are some where you end up in like this thing. I mean, most are exactly the same cookie.
They didn't
cutter
do them for
vendors.
like 2 years.
Yeah,
2020, 2021.
Yeah,
like last summer was like probably like the first
ones
like
of them coming back.
full full effect summer. Like,
And
that was really cool.
And I don't know if I even hit any serious one. I must have. But anyway, yeah, I hit one. I forgot which one. I did like do division or whatever. But I've seen some really good bands there. I've seen some
like
really
Milwaukee
good band
and
stuff.
I was like, there was one on like Milwaukee.
Yeah,
that I was like, because that's on my way home. So
Wicker
I'm
Park
like,
Fest. That's one.
Yeah,
of the, that's
Wicker
one
Park
of,
Fest.
That one existed when I was in high school. That's one of the older ones, and but I think a lot of them are like pretty new. And what did exist when I was a kid?
They're closing the street off, dude. That's like really fucking cool.
Were these giant concerts in the park,
Yeah.
and it'd be almost as big though. And they would like, and I was just like Wells Park over down Lincoln. They used to have these concerts. I'd go to these concerts all the fucking time. And then like none of that shit exists. So I'm like, there is shit that is gone. There's shit that's new. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, what a dumb observation. But that was something, like, just like.
Yeah, it's something I never had as anywhere.
What was there?
Denver was cool. There was a lot of cool shit to do in Denver, but that was like that. Denver is like a city that's ran by millennials.
Yeah, no,
and it
way
fucking
more so.
shows,
Oh,
man.
There's
Like-
there's a feature where Facebook had it at a time where it would show where your friends live. Like, we would show, like, it would sort your friends where they live better. And it was like right after college, and it was like, I live in Chicago and New York, so hundreds in Chicago, hundreds
Right.
in New York, and then like 100 in Denver. And it was just because all of like people I'd grown up with had moved. To Denver.
When I first moved to Denver, the craziest shit was like everybody I met was from Chicago.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck is this,
That's
dude?
what kind of bums me out. It's a good observation, because what bums me out is when I travel so many places, there's so many people from Chicago.
Chicago's a big city.
And it's a big city, but now I'm realizing people are also just leaving Chicago.
But
Yeah,
people are
fucking
also
moved
moving in Chicago too.
Yeah, I appreciate you moving in. What brought you to Chicago?
So I wanted to be a bartender. Well,
Were
like
you a bartender before?
Yeah, I was a bartender. I wanted to really take bartending as far as I possibly could.
Would you rather take, at this point, would you rather take bartending farther or comedy?
Comedy.
Yeah.
I'm going all in with comedy. Like, bartending now is just a day job. I don't where I work now is like nothing like I would whenever I first moved here. It was nothing like these under these like famous chefs. It was nothing like that level of service.
Yeah. And you're not looking to get back into
No,
that
I'm
level of
not.
intensity.
I'm like so over it, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like memorizing all these wines and their regions and all these pairings, all these fucking notes. You know,
so
it's like fucking school. Like, there's so much to know. You got to know like allergies, your fucking ingredients you can modify.
Yeah.
What you can't modify, the gluten-free options, the fucking vegan options, there's like, because like when people dine at that level and
they fucking care.
Yeah, it's like, and you have to hit it, or like, you have to at least like be knowledgeable to like let them.
Well, that is what is.
So then
because
they trust you, because like if they know, like whenever you're selling wine, like if you have an expansive knowledge on wine and like you have a dish to pair it with. Like, if you know what you're talking about, they trust you.
Yeah. But that's cool, though. I mean, and it is a thing there. It is an art, which is interesting.
And as a bartender, that's just serving. That's just serving. I bartend, so like you have to like know how to like not only like make all kinds of classic cocktails, but like you got to be consistent with measurements. And you got to learn. You got to know all these ingredients because they're recipes.
What your last meal? What's your classic cocktail order?
With a cocktail, I would say probably. I love a good fucking. I like a rusty nail.
What's that again?
Rusty nail. It's a single malt Scotch. It's like blended Scotch and
it's whiskey.
Well, Scotch is whiskey.
Good.
So like it's like Rusty Nail. It's like a fucking what's that liqueur? Drambuie. It's like a honey Scotch liqueur.
Okay.
So that'd be like that's something I like if I was to have a cocktail. I like Sazeracs. They're all like kind of much in the same realm of cocktail.
What's your favorite bar in Chicago?
My favorite bar in Chicago is probably like Money Gun. It's in the West Loop. It's on Lake Street and Des Plaines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like this. I think they're honestly the best cocktail bar in the city. Like they have like a rotating list of cocktails, but they can make you every classic cocktail you can think of. And they also have their own little twist on everything too.
I gotta check it out. I ride my divvy bike right by there often. Des Plaines.
Des Plaines and Lake Street.
It is Des Plaines, but yes.
Des Plaines.
Yeah,
Des Plaines. Yeah.
yeah.
I always get that wrong.
It's all good. But that's
Fucking
just to let you know
tourist.
that I know it. No, that's a fucking. I'll definitely check it out. When I leave my office, I hop on my divvy bike.
They call me White Jimmy.
Oh,
I got a nickname there.
they don't call you Coon Dog.
No, they don't call me Coon Dog. I'm really good at getting nicknames, man. Yeah, I'm really good at acquiring nicknames. I have a shitload of them.
Well, how do you get White Jimmy?
So I got White Jimmy because my first friend I made in Chicago he was a black dude named Jimmy, and we would go to Money Gun all the time. And Jimmy was like a longtime regular there before me, but
Okay, cool.
me and him started just hanging out every night, going to Money Gun and just getting banged up and like going to work and like. But yeah, he was my buddy. And he was like and we were both like we're very similar, but like he's black, I'm white. So like we would always like pull girls. We would always like leave with girls or they'd leave with us. Like and we'd separate, but we would hang out every night, all night.
When did you move to Chicago?
October 2018.
Damn, bro. That's Hell yeah. When did you start comedy?
May 2021, so like almost 2 years.
Hell yeah. Did you have a Waffle House a lot in your childhood?
We had Huddle House.
Huddle House.
Yeah, we had a Waffle House too, but Huddle House was like the local shittier
Okay.
one. You know, you get like a little cockroach in your omelet. It's fine.
Yeah, my dad would always take us to the Golden Nugget, which is. Have you ever been to Golden Nugget?
I haven't been to Golden Nugget. Is it like a buffet?
Nice. No, it's a diner. It's a diner, but it's one of the diners here. It's the one at Diversity and Western. It's open 24 hours.
Fucking
But it is luckily not as trashy.
Buffets were a thing in
We
the
did
South.
go to Old Country Buffet, and that was pretty.
That's like
lowly.
they have those in Pennsylvania. I've never heard of those until I moved to Pennsylvania. I haven't seen one down south.
My dad was like a insurance photographer, and he had to go into like a lot of kitchens, and because like there'd be accidents in kitchens all the times.
Yeah.
So like claims would be in a kitchen, and then so he'd go in the kitchen, and he's like, "Don't eat at Old Country Buffet." He was like, "They are doing some things down there."
They're
they're
seasoning their wings on the floor.
No, exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. Which it does seem like a lot of places do that, I guess.
Oops. Dude, there was this place in Pennsylvania. It was like a bar where I was at, like around the corner from where I lived, and every Monday they had like all you can eat wings. And like one thing about me is like I've always been a big eater.
Yeah.
Like I eat a shitload of food. And
Maybe
like
I've won eating contests, but continue.
Oh, that's gnarly, dude. I think I can hold my own. But like no, like they had these like all you can eat wings, like bottomless wings for like $20, and I would smoke like 40 of them bitches.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I've never done anything.
And then like but they were like big wings too. They were like the big super GMO wings. But I was like I didn't know anything about that because I was only like 21.
Oh man.
But like
we used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. With like
they have all you can eat wings?
No, but they had like quarter wings, like 25-cent wing night or whatever when we were in high school, and we would just fucking like
That's
destroy it. But what always would suck was like we would go with like 40 kids. Though all the servers obviously hated us, and it was a thing
separate
too.
Checks?
Well, bro, honestly, I mean, it would have been better for the fucking servers because half these kids didn't know no one knew what tipping was. Like half the kids didn't know what it was just like, bro, it's like, and some of us grew up cultured with parents.
Man,
Sorry.
I worked at
Oh, I didn't mean it like that, but damn, that's fucked up, bro.
No, that was a good one.
Do people ever make? I did not mean it. I meant it literally like parents who
crazy.
discipline their children. I didn't mean like. But do people ever like say super huge slip ups like that? And they're just like
Nah, I don't really tear it to like wear it on my sleeve really. Only when
Good,
it
yeah,
comes up.
Yeah, well then I dated a girl for years. I thought her dad had died, and I a couple times made a comment where like, oh, that's awkward. But then it turns out her dad was still alive, and it's like, what the fuck are you? What the fuck are you
Turns out
doing?
you're not a good listener.
No. But this. All right, I'm gonna put this out there. I was
Or
like,
you mixed her up with your other girlfriend.
no, I was just straight up with this girl. I was like, she grew up in the city. I knew her from high school.
Okay.
I go, where'd you go to grade school? And she's like, I don't remember. And I'm like, what do you?
Oh, did you suppress those memories?
I was like, even if you did, you gotta remember. And then I named like 7 of the. I was like, I'm pretty sure you went here.
Yeah.
I have other people I grew up with who said they went here with you. They went to grade school here with you.
Yeah, dude. She probably had some trauma she was suppressing.
That makes sense why she was with me then. Oh man, but yeah, no, there was IHOP was like the IHOP on Diversey in California. That's where I would never, my dad would never, neither of my parents would ever take me there.
No.
But that's where the trashy stuff would
Because you
go
can
on.
like, you can still
I guess
they didn't want you getting in all that secondhand smoke.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Well, Golden Nugget was definitely like, you smoked like, you could smoke like crazy. That was one of the few places
The
where
McDonald's
I
I
remember.
grew up by, you can smoke in there for a long time.
What's
Like
the bar in? I'm fucking blanking on Milwaukee and Grand. It's so cool that there's a bar in Chicago you can smoke by. What's the
Oh,
name?
that's Richards. That's the
Richards,
cop bar.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Dick's.
Yeah.
Dick's for short.
Yeah. But
Yeah, you can buy cigarettes there. It's just like
you could murder a guy there.
you can get murdered there.
Yeah,
Like,
all of the above.
yeah, dude. And the dude, sky's the limit.
No, but that bar is cool that they just no rules.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of.
When everything was shut down during COVID, they're like, we're openly gonna stay open.
There was I admire
They-
like the
they're the
people who
better.
did that.
They went the hardest.
Florida went the hardest. The whole
Oh,
state
yeah.
of
Oh,
Florida
bro.
was like, dude,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Well, I gotta be honest. You know what the one thing they fucking banned in Florida was that pissed me off? Live
What?
music, live
Really?
entertainment. They banned live I think live. I think it might have just been music because there might have been comedy, but it was live music, and it's like, bro, come on, this is.
I think that's why Sam Morril was going to Florida all the time to do his shows.
Yeah, I think comedy was still going on.
Like everything was still going on in Florida. Like Florida did not give a fuck.
Yeah, I honestly want to say like the one because I went. I mean, not to be, but I was one of those guys.
They were like,
I
no
went-
mask, no vaccines.
Yeah, let's go have fun in Florida.
Like,
but
fuck
but then
that.
you go down there and it's like, nope, no live music, and you're like, well, come on, that's. I wanted to go to like hear some
No
live Cuban.
DJs.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that was like a big thing. Like whenever the fucking COVID first kicked off, like they were like, there's gonna be no live music, no concerts for like 2 years.
Well, it's all the service industry and the entertainment
yeah, that
industry
shit.
took it on the
They
fucking.
took it.
Really
a
switching.
stab, man.
But
That was a hurt piece.
I keep looking at this one note I have, and what was it like? Were you aware when Dale Earnhardt Sr. died?
Oh, I knew right away. He died the same year as my mom.
Oh man!
Wait, no.
Oh God!
No,
I
not
gotta,
the same year. No, that was my
I
grandpa.
wrote this. Hey, I wrote this down, and now I'm reading.
No.
Your mom
No,
died in
they
a car
died-
crash.
they
I
died
figured
the
if Dale
same
Earnhardt
year.
died. I wrote this down before I knew about your mom. This
This
is
is
one of
great.
my main country questions. If you're from the country, I gotta ask about Dale Earnhardt.
Dude, so
But-
Dale Earnhardt, man, everybody loved Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Goodwrench, dude.
Yeah.
He drove the General Motors,
Absolutely.
and he was the Intimidator, man. He would the thing about Dale Earnhardt, man, he would he was called the Intimidator because like if you didn't move, if you wouldn't get out his way, he would just fucking clip your ass and make you move, and he was dominant, yeah.
And look where, no, but
He died doing what he loved. He
doing what
died.
he
He
loved at
died
the
on the.
highest
He
level,
died on the track.
Yeah,
He died
the
on the
Daytona
track.
500, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, highest level.
So
yeah.
like, I mean, like, it's kind of an honorable death for him.
Yeah, when he died, and I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was spring 2001. So it was like 6 months before 9/11.
Yeah, it was the same year my dad's father died.
Yeah.
But no, he
It
had the
was-
same injury as my mom, the fucking broken vertebrae in the neck. That was a
Yeah, I'm very sorry.
Similarity.
Yeah, so I'm not good at bringing that. But with my
you know,
point,
I think people are a little too sensitive about
Good.
death.
but
because, like,
yeah,
you
I
know.
think about it all the time, and I'm not sensitive at all. That's all I want to just like.
I don't. I think about death all the time, man. Like it's because, like, you know, that's the only thing. That's one thing everybody has in common is that they're gonna die.
Oh,
We're all
absolutely.
We're all gonna suffer the same fate. Like no one's gonna live forever.
I know.
And if you and like honestly, I don't even want to live like past 70. You know what I mean? Like
I very much want to live past 70, but
I
I
don't
agree.
know.
I get what you're saying.
I don't want to like see like the quality. The older you get,
The
like
older your quality get, you definitely see it fall off, and I've seen it fall off on people at 70 for sure.
like
I've also seen people fully healthy at 90.
yeah,
So
it's
both.
different
and I'm
for
probably
everybody.
Gonna be dying at 70. I see,
But life is actually just like a huge privilege.
oh, absolutely.
Because you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people I grew up with, man, they haven't even seen like 21, 25,
yeah, and
30, and like being, I'm 31 now, and I'm like, damn, dude. And that was like my first thought turning 31 again as I'm getting older.
yeah,
Because like the older I get, like I reflect on like my life, and like I have a lot of friends, a lot of close friends who died, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just like, damn, like, this dude died at 19. This dude died at 24. This, and then so on. Like people, like I know there's somebody I know like dies every year.
yeah, it's rough. And some
You
it's
know?
like, yeah, and some are super tragic, and some are like super unexplained, and some
are
like
like overdose, suicides. Like that's
yeah.
the common one. Like people like overdoses and suicides are like how everybody like from my hometown that I grew up with, because those people, like a lot of people from my hometown are dying, and it's like, yeah, it's from like heroin, or they're just like really sad and depressed, and they just off themselves. It's crazy. My buddy killed himself like last year.
Damn, bro.
I know. I was like, damn, dude. I was like, you just turned 30, bro.
I know, right? And that's the thing. We're like, they're hot girls at the funeral.
No, I didn't go there, but like, yeah, no, he was like, but his like, it kind of ran in his family because his brother killed himself too. His older brother killed himself.
No, it's definitely
Like he wrecked his car, like, and I knew his older brother too. Like his older brother, like put his truck in a ditch and then like just fucking didn't die, so he went and got his gun and finished it.
And this is why you call it the funniest show. Donovan.
Yeah, the funniest show. I mean, yeah.
No, but I find all of that hilarious. No, but no, that is rough. But it is crazy. I mean, it's like, yeah, dudes aren't handling their feelings well.
No, man, that's why you should like talk about things, man.
And I do agree with you on what you're saying in the beginning, where it's like, life is fucking.
It's a
good.
privilege, dude.
It's a privilege, and it's overall like you bounce, like, you know, you could struggle everywhere, but it's like, look at you. I mean, you've lived all these different spots.
Yeah,
I've
enjoyed my life and where it's been taking me, and it's all.
And it's like if you look at it at the perspective of like, I'm getting this experience.
Yeah, it's
a lot
what it
more,
is. Like,
and it's a thing too where I always try
to make the most of the day.
And for me, every year I've been a little more comfortable than the last year.
Yeah, same. Like as the older you get, it comes with age though.
Yeah.
You know, confidence in life and like, you know, setting yourself up. Like always set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
Like that's why I like doing comedy, you know, because it's just like a new chapter. It's something new I'm trying, and it's something I'm going all in on, you know.
Yeah. So I was good to talk about when Dale Earnhardt died. There was just like candles everywhere, and it was just a very interesting time. But then it just went into the saddest conversation ever had.
It wasn't sad. I mean,
it wasn't sad at all. But I do only want to talk about
Dale
Girls
Earnhardt.
Gone Wild, commercials, and Porn in the Woods.
So Porn in the Woods, man, could be like I always think of like old slasher movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's Porn in the Woods to me.
Did you ever encounter porn that was left in the woods?
Oh, like
Because it blows my mind that,
like
and
magazines?
we might have talked about this before, but it blows my mind how many people have encountered because I'm one of them. And I think the first time I looked at porn was at this like kid's second grade birthday party, and he's like, "Hey, there's this hole 100 feet out past the house, and it's got just tons of
Hustler magazines.
Hustler mags that are just covered in dirt and
Penthouse.
just crust, cum and dirt, dried dirt and dried cum on this penthouse that's I found my clearly, and the thing that always I think is even more hilarious now is even up through most of my adulthood, like up until recently, I was like, okay, you know, that just gets left there mysteriously by like naughty boys in the 70s, but it's like, no, it's just the dad. The dad is always
just sneaking off.
The dad just leaves his porn outside, which it still blows my mind. But people always, and I don't know.
It's because he doesn't. Because like you get
you don't
like
want it in the
shamed
house.
for
You don't
porn.
want the. It's like the wife will never go out 150 feet into the woods, but the little boy will.
That rules.
Yeah, and it was like, and it was funny because it was like we were young enough that it was like a co-ed sleepover, and there was like a good amount of there was a handful of kids there, and it's like we're all looking at our own porno mag, just flipping through it, and it's like. And it's like porno mags where it's like
From the
super,
woods.
super dust. I vividly remember it being super dirty, like, and how those were super airbrushed, and it's just like, yeah, like how Hustler, where they're just like wide legs spread, and it's
all
just
that
like
action.
and it's just like, and you're like, oh, what's all this? This is a gash.
Hello.
No, and you're just like, and I mean, you don't even know what you're looking at.
Yeah,
You're just confused.
so innocent.
You're confused, but you know what the
Why is
titties
she
are.
peeing? Like.
I wish. Then I could start figuring things out. Then I could start seeing. It wasn't until 5th grade health class and those sexy diagrams that I really figured it out.
It was what did it for me was my 5th grade teacher.
That's who taught you about?
No, she was like the one that made me like. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a man now. Like,
hell yeah. There's we had the math teacher I had in 7th and 8th grade.
she's the one who she's the first person to make me feel like a man. I was a bad little kid too, and I would always get in fights. And like
Yeah.
I'd get my, I would get into some rough fights in 5th grade, man. I would get punched in the face and shit. It was awesome, but like she would be like really close to my face. And like she would touch my face and just be like really close, just in examining me, and I'm just like I'm like fully torqued when she's like doing that. I'm like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, are we gonna kiss or what, dude? It was like my 5th grade teacher. She was such a babe. I remember she was 24.
She probably had that. She probably thought you were cute.
I don't know, man, but
Cute
like
little
I
10-year-old.
was a bad little kid. I was a cute kid.
You're a bad boy, but you could change.
I was a
That's
cute
your
kid,
appeal.
but I was a bad little motherfucker. I was always getting in fights. I was not a nice kid. Like I was like very disruptive in class. Like I was always getting in trouble just because I could.
Is there the worst disruption you ever?
I don't know. When I was in Sunday school, I said bastard.
And that's the worst thing you've ever. You're like this whole.
Well, I've gotten fights in middle school.
Your life went all downhill because you said bastard once at church.
In Sunday school specifically.
Oh man! All right, I gotta tell my Wednesday. So I went to Wednesday school one night, and it was
That's
this
like
Baptist. It was Sunday school, but this Baptist church was so fucked up. They had it on Wednesday. It was called Kiwanis. It was called Kiwanis. I don't know if that's what it's, but it's the kids who babysat me would go sometimes, not even that often, but most kids, like 4 out of 5 kids.
Yeah, like the older kids, the older generation.
No, these were kids our age, but it was like, and it was kids every year. But when I was in the small town of like 800, I'd say 4 out of
small town.
Yeah, and the school, like each grade had like 30 kids, a normal size class, but it was like of the 30 kids, probably 22 went to this Wednesday night church thing, and I was not one of them. I went once, and I was excited to go because all these other kids went, and including some of my closest friends.
Right.
And they sit us down, and they come in, and it's so much different than Catholic church, which is super boring, I think, by the way. But it's still like, all right, this is different. They come in, they pull in a giant cooler, and they've filled it with snow from outside.
Yeah.
And they start throwing snowballs at people. And I'm like, whoa,
that's cool.
This is cool. Way cooler than shit going down at Catholic church. But Catholic church is way cooler windows. You can stare at the windows at Catholic church, and they're cool.
I went to a Lutheran church. It was pretty cool.
And then they say, red is the color of Satan. Red is the color of the devil. If you're wearing red, you're a sinner. And I'm wearing a Chicago Bulls t-shirt that's like all red.
That was at the Baptist church?
I was at the Baptist church during their sermon, and they're just going to be like, red's the color of the devil, new kid.
I was like, nah, I would have
just
been
like,
like, red's the color of Jesus' blood.
That's the thing. There's so many things. Red is it's the color of a bull. Like,
Yeah, it's the color of Chicago Bulls, man.
And it was just like, I was in 4th grade. This is already like shook all of this is like shaking my faith in God. I was like, all right, well, this is a bullshit thing. Then we go and play kickball. And they have some silly version. Their church plays some silly version of kickball where you have to like do a spin around the base or like hop on the base or something weird. And I didn't know that. And they're like, "Well, you didn't hop on the base." And I'm like, "You don't fucking do that anywhere else. You got to explain house rules first." And I mean, granted, the problem was
this was
kickball. They let 4th graders referee each other at kickball. So of course, some 4th graders are like,
kickball is fun.
Kickball is so much fun, but there's
it's almost as fun as dodgeball.
There's universal it is, and I agree. And
Yeah.
when you couldn't go outside for lunch or recess, and you had if they let you
Stay
play
inside.
kickball in the gym, that was fine.
I like kickball, man.
But kickball is a very simple rules. That's what's part of its charm. So when you add some BS like you got to do a hop around the base, you know.
Oh, what the hell
Don't
is
complicate
that?
it.
No.
And that's what this church was trying to do. And
Oh,
of
man.
course, the fourth graders were trying to lawyer their way into winning, and they were like, you didn't hop on the base, so you that. And I like did
I don't blame 'em.
did like an inside the park home run type shit. So I was already, and they're like, nah, it doesn't count. You gotta go back to second. Like I had to go back to second or something. So, but as a fourth grader, that's like especially when you do something athletically cool, and they take it back. I hated them.
They fucking disclaim your shit.
Then they take me after they take us back to the church after, and they take me up into a room upstairs, and they lock me in with a youth pastor. And he goes like,
That's scary.
Is it? I know, right? Like
That
I
is
look back, and I'm like, they should not. Like
That
it was
is
fine.
not
I say it
okay.
like that because to be like make it sound creepier than it. But they shouldn't have done it the way they did. And it really was like after everything ended. Like I do think the people who babysat me were waiting for me to finish this conversation, and it was like they locked it. I do vivid.
Yeah.
It's like this guy and this guy. Fuck this guy, but he didn't do anything creepy. I'm not gonna say he's a creep, but he's like a youth pastor. But he goes, "Are you 100% certain you're going to heaven?" And I'm just by myself. All the people I'm with have left.
I'm like, dude, please don't pull out your penis.
Yeah. Please don't do what my dad would do right now. No, but
my uncle already tried this.
Yeah. And he gives me like stupid comic books that are like all like super god. And then, but he's like, yeah, if you're not certain about you're going to heaven, then you're almost certainly going to hell. If you're not 100% certain you're going to heaven, then you're basically certainly going to hell.
I'm like, I don't believe in heaven. I don't think heaven's a real place.
9/11 happened 2 months ago, Buster Brown. Don't fucking.
You can't be pulling this shit.
Yeah, like literally.
There is no God.
Yeah,
Like,
and
yeah.
and I remember seeing that guy like 6 months later, because this really was like 2 months after 9/11. But I remember seeing that guy 6 months later. I'm like, that guy's such a bozo. But it totally, like, at fourth grade, that totally blew my religion. And then when I was in sixth grade, people from like small town Ohio came here, and I went to the Boys and Girls Club growing up.
Yeah.
And I was like one of the only white kids, and this was this all white church that came. I was basically the only white kid, and this all white church came, and they were like cool
That's where you
older
got your
kids.
soul from.
Oh yeah, yeah. My bachata fucking background. I'm
Bachata.
yeah. I'm in the Puerto Rican section of the town.
Okay.
I like the Boricua. I can't even say it right. Boricuan Queens. Gringo.
That's Mexico.
That's definitely me. Well, I think that's all Spanish speaking people calling me white.
Yeah, I think that's a universal Spanish term.
But let me finish this church story, and then we could get on some final thoughts. So these kids come, and they're fucking killing it. Speak of the devil. I don't remember dodgeball or kickball. One of the two things. They're just. I think it was dodgeball. And these kids are just killing it dodgeball. These guys are rock stars. They're cool as hell.
Catching the ball.
We're all like 11-year-olds, and these are cool as hell 17-year-olds. And then at lunch, I'm sitting down with one of them, pulls the exact same conversation I remembered from that guy. He's like, "Are you 100% certain you're going to heaven?" And I was like, "You bastard!" And right away, I got so mad. I was like, I would have only been 11 when this happened, just turned 12 maybe. But I remember being mad. I was like, you think you guys are better than us and we're all heathens and going to hell, and you think like your place is holy. And it's like, I lived in a small town like yours. It's like you guys aren't any better. And it's like the thing with any like church group like that.
Right.
Whenever there's 30 kids in a church group, 20 of them have Down syndrome. I swear. You know what I mean? Like it's just always the case.
Well, there's some spectrum of autism.
Oh yeah,
there.
on almost all of them, you know. And then there's like two guys who are like probably molesting the rest of them. Yeah, you know, they're like
they don't have the fucking.
they're like
social
the
fucking-
charming skateboarders guys, but like they're giving handies to every to the Down syndrome kid, and they just take school buses thousands of miles to just fucking cities.
My cousin's dad is like the most like perverted old man ever, man. He's like he's just like kind of he like misses his like wife, you know. He's like really like not over his long-term divorce. But yeah, he was telling me stories about like how my cousin was dating this girl who was she was of age, but he was just like really weird about it. He was like, oh yeah, I would always tease her. I was like, yeah, you're my new daughter. Yeah, you piece of eye candy. Hell yeah. Like, and I'm just like, yo, Uncle Joe, sounds like you've had like, sounds like you fucking had like unconsensual sex.
Yeah, like middle-aged men.
Yeah,
really
dude,
got
they're the
away with
worst.
a lot. Yeah,
and
they
it's
really.
just like he's like, yeah, she still works at the farmer's market. I told her come. I tease her all the time. I told her come around, give me a hug. That's how he talks. Like, and I'm like, oh man, you're really bragging about that. And like, this was at his This was at my cousin's wedding, and he was telling he was also telling me, he was like, hey man, He was like, so he was. I woke up early and he was like, there was like fucking hotel people walking around. There was like a cute girl. He was like, "Hey man, did you flirt with that girl yet?" I'm like, dude, chill out, man. You're embarrassing me. I know you're not embarrassing yourself.
It is fun when you have like the silly uncle to be like, "Hey, this guy,
dude. And
my
like,
gross nephew's gonna come hit on you right now. It's a thing. I broke the ice. I'm a creepy uncle, but my gross nephew, he's gonna come and
he's gonna seal the deal and he's gonna tell me about it." There's always like some weird laugh at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
gotta have that guy come watch one of your shows.
oh man, yeah. No, I remember he was because they see that my family knows I've been doing comedy now, so they always like, and they believe in me. They think I'm gonna do well in it, which is fucking fine, you know. But like they were like, yeah, he's fucking, and like whenever people like hear you do comedy, they think they can do it.
Oh yeah,
and they always want to talk about like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, they always go like, oh yeah, I'm a funny person. I think I can do that. I'm like, well, fucking do it then. Yeah. It's really easy.
So many of my closest friends and even some family have started, and it's like, oh yeah, this fucking thing sucks. They think because they all think like they're gonna be even I thought it a little kind of thing. Oh, I think 15 sets in, I'll be famous. You know what I mean? It's like I'll do 5 open mics. I'll get found by an agent who have me open for 5 shows.
Yeah, no, it's
and
work.
then 5 shows later, I'll be headlining.
And not work like that.
Not like I'm gonna be living in this bedroom for 8 years, and fucking hang up a bed sheet and hope to God something happens out of it.
Yeah, no. I'm glad I actually have a roommate who's like very similar in style with me. Like he's not a comedian, but like we lead very similar lifestyles. Like we're both bartenders.
Hell yeah.
We're both single. And we're like staying single usually. So like, you know, we're just gonna kind of nest there.
Yeah.
It's like he's like my best friend.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, like so like I have like leeway to do like comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's like no pressure to like find a new place. Like I have like a good like thing going on.
Good.
Like I got like a stable place to live.
You're in a stable place, build up from here, and then figure out what's next.
I got a decent job, and then like that can like gives me the flexibility to like go do stand up every night.
Yeah, this all sounds like a perfect time to start heroin.
Oh man, I'm more of a crack guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a friend of mine who relapsed on heroin, but he was like weaning himself off of it.
Yes.
So he's like smoke crack on Mondays.
Ooh.
You know, and like. This was like right before the pandemic. Like he was actually I was actually let him stay at my place so he can like, you know, like get better. But he didn't get better, so I had to get him out. They like a couple days turned into like 2.5 weeks, and I'm like, all right, this is not working.
How did he smell?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Like, and it made no sense because we had a shower. It's like, dude, like,
yeah.
It's like you can shower. Like, take a fucking shower. There's a shower right there.
My last roommate, and this was like when I was like just ready to fucking leave New York, everything. My last roommate in New York, I lived there a year after college. And this guy we had move in. We randomly had a Craigslist guy move in, and he lived there 3 months. He would have been fine. We knew he was for sure a junkie somehow. He was the smelliest person. He had BO, and I think he was smoking crack, but I think he was smoking crack. He would leave his windows open in the dead of winter.
I mean, if you're doing one drug, you're probably going to do like multiple drugs.
I think he was 100%. But
you
I think
just do heroin. You kind of you do heroin.
I think he was like an upper guy too. Like I think he was like
You do some meth.
Yeah, I think like crack, meth would be his range.
I hear like meth is like really popular in the gay community because I heard like a lot of meth deals go through Grindr.
Oh, well, there's tons of pills, and uppers.
Like the diamond emoji. Is the symbol for meth. Do
you know about Steamworks? This could be our last topic.
Steamworks?
Yeah.
Like the fucking brewery?
The gay bathhouse on Halstead.
No.
$30, bro. This is where like I wish I was gay. $30. You go in. You get it's. I think you pay by the time. You don't. There's like not membership.
$30
and you go in
for 10 minutes or some shit.
You can go as long as you're in. It's like a $30 guest pass, and everyone's a guest. And it's like it's a full gym kind of, but it's not really a gym. There's a steam room, there's a sauna, there's a blowjob room. It's called a succatorium. A glory hole room is called a succatorium. There's literally the
Oh,
phrase for
man,
that.
that
and
sounds
it's just
so
where
dirty.
It's like it's like 25 glory holes all in one room.
That is so dirty.
And you could just read these Yelp reviews, and that's how I learned the word succatorium. Was like, Yelp will have like keywords, and it'll be like ... tasty, local, ... boutique, but this was ... succatorium, ...
Succatorium.
And why I found out about it was like fourth guy died in 24 months at local health spa or something. I was like, how is young, like 20 something, and I was like, how are these 20 somethings dying at a gym? Like, what's going on?
The life out of them.
They're getting the life sucked out of them, bro. Getting the life sucked out of them. But no, they're doing pills and then hanging out in saunas and having sex for 20 hours in a sauna, in a hot fucking sauna where they're on pills and their heart's pumping and they just have heart attacks and their heart gives out. And there's like...
They went out doing what they love.
Talk about the best way to go out, but also just talk about the best business. And it's so sad that we just, we don't get it. And we don't deserve it. Us straight men don't deserve these...
I mean, we can go in there and
we could,
reap the services, but it would be like fucking
if I
very
could,
immoral.
If I chose to be gay, I would choose it for that, right? I mean, that's like the more you hear about this place where it's like there's orgy rooms, you're just like, oh man, there's a thing too. There's also, there's a lot of people like, I'm fat and old and no one wants to suck me, but then they do because I guilt them into it. And you're like, wow, that's fucking interesting. Read the Yelp reviews for Steamworks is all I'm saying.
I like some good bad Yelp reviews, man.
Yeah. Any final thoughts before we close this thing out?
Yeah, you think like they're like whenever people say it's a choice to be gay, you think that comes from like the gay people who choose to be straight, but they're very unhappy?
They're the ones started all the propaganda.
I think they're the ones who started that. Like,
I do think there's a comic who is like, what percentage do you think all like violence is like a
it's like sexual
closeted
frustration.
Is a sexual frustration active closet, and it's like almost all.
Yeah, probably.
And once you hit like, if you're fighting after like 23, even when you're fighting at a kid as a guy, like as an 18-year-old, that's still kind of gay. You're still like
fighting as a kid as an 18-year-old, or
even as like an adult man, just to like be at a bar and be mad at what another man. Like anytime I even like through. Like
just somebody has what you don't have,
or like they just
having
slight
more,
you
or they're
in
just
some
having
way.
more fun than you.
Well, I said like the only times I've ever instigated something was someone cut and bumped through me. Someone bumped through me twice, and it's And the only two times I instigated something, but it's like I should have fucking let that go. But it was like physical contact is like what initiated it, and then I responded with physical contact, and it's like.
That's the cause.
I should have just not touched another grown up. Why would I ever want to touch another grown man? They're gross.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I remember
disgusting.
the second time, and this is the worst thing I've ever done with like bar shit. Was this guy was like, he pushed past he was like just pushing past people.
What a dick.
And he was being a huge dick, and he pushed past me, and I just went bows and just, and then another guy grabbed me and. That's what I thought in my head. Another guy grabbed me. He's like, "Whoa, bro, you can't be doing that." And I was like, "He fucking pushed through me." He's like, "I was like, that's exactly what I was like." And he's like, "Still, bro, you can't just fucking throw an elbow." And I honestly think he was right.
Was it a bouncer?
No, it was just some dude. But I think he was right. I think you can't just respond to violence.
No, he's not wrong. But yeah, you can't violence only leads to more violence.
Yeah.
Like last little scuffle I got into was like at North Bar. And it was like it was just like with some dude, like Paul brings this up every now and again, but he'll like this one dude was just at North Bar, and he was like kind of being a problem. He was heckling the comics. He was going on stage. It's like, the shit you shouldn't do.
Yeah. Who was he?
I don't know. He was just some random dude in Wicker Park, but anyway, so like he gets asked to leave, told to leave, he leaves. But then he comes back, and he's, like, kind of being a problem. And I'm standing outside. It's me and my roommate. And this is, like, the one time he came and saw me at North Bar. And, like, this dude was just, like, just being a problem. Just, like, looking for trouble, And, like, we kind of got into it. Like, I forget what happened. I told him, I was like, he was like, "What's your problem? You got a problem?" I'm like, "Yo, bro, you're the one with the problem. Like, you have the problem."
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, "Well, what the fuck then? What are you going to?" I was like, "Well, do something then, bitch." I called him a bitch. And he was like, "Oh, fuck, you called me a bitch." And that triggered him. So then, he tried to, I didn't, throw a punch. And, he tried to throw a punch. But, he's kind of, I think he was kind of fucked up. So I dodged his shit. and like he tried to charge me, and I was just like kind of just.
Well, if someone else
around.
starts stuff, then it's
Yeah,
game
it's
on,
like-
bro. If then you're totally allowed. It's actually pretty straight to fight.
Yeah, but I didn't like throw a punch. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
actually had some like because like now like after I got my dental work done, like I paid
feel you,
like
yeah.
$5,000 for some dental work.
I got sucker punch once, and my glasses fell off, and I wear glasses a lot less because of that. And it's like because you don't see, and you're like, fuck it, I gotta go to the next. Yeah. Yeah, you can't see. It's like I gotta go pick up my glasses. I can't focus on this fight. I have to focus
Yeah,
on finding
like,
my glasses.
Fucking
Like Velma.
like the dental work.
Yeah,
is
you
like
don't
what I don't want to fucking fuck up my dental work and then have to go get it redone.
Yeah.
It's expensive, especially for front teeth. Like, cause like even if you have insurance, like front teeth, they don't really cover much because it's like cosmetic.
Damn, bro, I need to get my teeth fixed, and then I'll be Hollywood.
Hollywood's ready. But yeah, like insurance like covers like molars, like their back teeth that you use to chew. Like, yeah, the fucking front teeth, that's cosmetic. So they're like, you gotta pay for that shit.
Damn, bro, we'll get it fixed. We'll get rich. We'll get all our teeth, all our shit. We'll be all plastic surged
I
up.
got a fucking implant, dude. That shit was gnarly.
Damn, bro,
Getting implants, man.
we'll fucking make it, bro.
Yeah, man.
And then we'll have hot dates on the red carpet.
Yeah, dude, we'll get a movie. We'll get casted for movies and shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be in a really fun comedy movie about guys who go play hide and seek across the world, and only in like really poor parts of the world.
And then they bring paintball guns.
Oh, bro, I would do a worldwide paintball gun
Like
fight.
fucking manhunt shit.
That's my thing.
Worldwide paintball guns in third world countries.
Yeah. All right, man.
Indonesia.
Thank you for doing this.
Dude, this is fun.
Hell yeah, bro.
This has been another episode of The Funniest Show with your host Donovan Stroll O'Donnell. Remember that it is great to be alive. There is no cheat code for fighting the Matrix. There is no program to run where you automatically learn karate and take us down. You will stay fat and we will win without much effort. Our time is nigh. Thank you for listening.